children. Let's take our seats.
Yeah, baby.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Oh. Boy, just like the lie just hits you. It just hits you. Damn. Damn. Can you let us say that at the start of the show? Damn. I've seen aliens. I've seen them. I've seen the aliens. On TV. Yeah, on TV. Yes, that's where I've seen the aliens on TV. There's 4 people in this room laughing and clapping. That's what you hear is 4 people dubbed and reverb back. It's like I am the smartest and the dumbest one in the room because I am the I am the only one in the room. So guys, I watched Age of Disclosure. So you don't have to. Thank you. You don't need to spend that $25. $25. Guys, I spent $25 to be told the same thing I've seen in every other documentary about aliens. You ever see things moving on your desk sometimes? I tell you, when I lived in Los Angeles, do you want to know how many cockroaches live in Los Angeles? I mean, the guys there I saw an albino cockroach. Have you ever seen an albino cockroach? I've seen one. And apparently they're not that rare. They're quite prevalent. So, guys, so today we are doing a spoiler review. We are going deep diving. I watched Age of Disclosure. I did. So don't spend the $26 to watch it. I mean, can I, is it worth it? I don't think there's any new information, but I'll go through it. What I saw, I took notes, 2.5 pages of notes, some detailed notes. So we're going to do spoiler review today, deep dive. And, some people are ardent. They believe in aliens and that they're visiting us. And, but there are some really interesting things that I noticed that kind of didn't make sense, I guess, to me. With odd things. So that is today. That is almost the entire show. Aliens. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving in the United States. Thank you for giving, baby. Give me. What about I think it's Thanksgiving. I never get anything. I get nothing. But you know what does? I tell you what. Before we get into aliens, can I do 10 amazing facts about Thanksgiving? And then we're getting into the aliens. No, but I just thought, so turkey apocalypse. Americans eat around, how many turkeys are eaten every Thanksgiving? How many turkeys? If you said 45 to 50 million turkeys every Thanksgiving, that's more than the entire population of Spain. That's, yes, calorie nuke. A traditional Thanksgiving plate plus dessert can easily hit 3,000 to 4,500 calories in a single meal. That is twice the amount the average person needs just to sustain their biological, So, travel madness. More than 50 billion Americans travel 50 miles or more for Thanksgiving, making it one of the busiest travel weeks of the year. Hey, are you guys going to watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? Yeah. Oh, give me an applause for John Candy, right? John Candy. Yeah, that's John Candy, man. He was like John Ritter. Yeah, loved by everyone. Just loved by absolutely everyone. The great movies that we missed because he left us early is a kind of a sad thing. But Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, I freaking love that movie. It's the only Thanksgiving movie worth watching. Unless someone knows one. We got comments in the chat. Yeah, aliens are not real. Owen, yeah. Melissa, yeah. Hello, mate. Hey, Cube, are you from New Zealand? Hello, mate. Hello, mate. I got some good friends from New Zealand, mate. They're down in Las Vegas right now. Good mates. Number 4, parade people. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade pulls in over 20 million TV viewers. That thing still pulls in 20 million viewers, plus a few million brave souls freezing on the streets of New York to watch it. 20 million people still watch. Incredible. Football domination. Number 5, the NFL Thanksgiving games regularly rank among the most watched regular season games of the year. I had to make sure my mic was on. Of the year, with individual games often topping 25 to 30 million viewers. This is Thanksgiving. This is Thanksgiving trivia, guys, for tomorrow. You tell it around the table. Say, Mom, hey, Mom, do you know, Mom, did you know a pumpkin pie nation? Americans eat an estimated tens of millions of pumpkin pies over a holiday, roughly one pie for every 3 households. There's a lot of pumpkin slaughtering going on. A lot of pumpkins being slaughtered tomorrow. I guess the day before, because you have to make the pumpkin pie, right? Leftover love. Surveys usually show about 70% of people say leftovers are the best part of Thanksgiving. Cold turkey sandwiches and all. I don't know. Are they? Maybe. Casserole cult. Green bean casserole shows up on more than 20 million Thanksgiving tables. Really? Green bean casserole, despite nobody admitting it's their favorite dish. Green bean casserole? Bye. Turkey Helpline, the Butterball Turkey Helpline fields more than 100,000 calls, texts, and chats every season to help people panicking about raw, frozen, and/or on fire birds. Imagine on fire birds. What do I do if my bird's on fire? Well, I guess you don't want to throw water on it, because if it hits that grease, that fat, your bird's gonna that could be dangerous, right? So I don't have the phone number to the turkey helpline, the Butterball Turkey Helpline. But if your bird comes out on fire, smother it. Put a pillow over it. That's the best way to do it, I think. And number 10, my friends, shopping frenzy. Across Thanksgiving weekend, Turkey Day through till Cyber Monday, Americans typically drop tens of billions of dollars on shopping. I heard it's like 12 billion on Cyber Monday alone. Call it like 50, 60, 70 billion over those few days. Giving thanks the warm-up act for spending everything heading into Christmas. That is Thanksgiving. That's all I got to say about Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. I am live for 4 hours tomorrow, guys. 4 hours starting at 6 Eastern. 6 Eastern. I'm going to do 4 hours because I got no one to do anything with. So we're going to talk some probably aliens. We're going to talk movies. Being a screenwriter, that's kind of my bag. It's kind of my bag, you know. We're going to talk we're going to debunk the alien thing too. I have some videos debunking a lot of this alien stuff that people think, oh, there's no way you could debunk this one. Oh yeah, you can, motherfucker. So I'm not an alien guy, but we are about to get into Age of Disclosure, which I watched on Amazon today. Don't spend the $25. I'm telling you, don't spend the $25. Wait, because after what, 3-4 weeks, it goes free, right? Or it goes down to $3.99, and then it goes free. So Age of Disclosure. Don't. Hey, let's just don't blow the cash, man. Money's too fucking important right now. Are you guys you feeling it? I don't think that AI ain't gonna slap more people around. And the worst time to lose a job is around Thanksgiving and Christmas, right? And so many people this year are gonna get smacked around from AI layoffs. I'm telling you, it's just. I mean, Amazon wants to replace 600,000 people in their fully automate their warehouses. Robots work 24 hours. They don't call in sick. They don't unionize. They don't sue you. It's a big deal in California, man. Any small business knows in California. Oh, man. Serial sewers. That's how people make money in California. They just sue people. That's what California. It's a litigious state. If you're in California, get the fuck out. Leave. All my friends, everyone I knew either went bankrupt or left in California. I spent 20 years there. I got the fuck out. I'm gone. Can I get a hell yeah or something? Thank you. Christmas Eve, I'm going to be live for 4 hours. Christmas Day, I'm going to be live for 8 hours. 4 hours on Poprageous, my other channel. and 4 hours on Godless Universe. Next week, I'm doing the Underworld series with Kate Beckinsale. Every night, going to review a Underworld movie. Oh, yeah. Kate Beckinsale in the shiny black leather. Oh, he's good. Yes, he is good. And tomorrow, tomorrow got some alien debunking, Three Eye Atlas and Avi Loeb. We got some movies. Going to talk movies. All that on Thanksgiving Day for 4 hours. That's a lot of content. It's a lot of talking for 4 hours. But today, Age of Disclosure, and let's get into it. Let's get into Age of Disclosure. I got some really. So I watched it. I watched the Age of. So these are like, can you see the hand scratch? Like that's my writing, right? I mean, it's that's my writing. I was just sitting on the couch and I was doing two things at once. Of course, trying to make sure that I'm paying attention. I was doing the thumbnail on top of watching and everything like that. But what I want to do first, guys, I want to play the trailer for Age because I want to set the mood up, right? I want to set the mood up for Age of Disclosure because basically what you see. Where are we here? Let me get this open here. Show files. Basically, what you see in the trailer is basically what you see the entire movie, the entire documentary. The entire documentary is the trailer, and it's basically just saying a whole bunch of different things. But I think watching the trailer gets us in the mood because it kind of sets the tone, if I may use tone, something that James Gunn didn't do very good on his Superman movie, may I say. Tone, world building, James Gunn. Superman was a bad movie. Like, that. It was. Age of Disclosure, I think people are giving it a 7.1. I don't know if it's a 7.1. You know what? If you've seen, you guys can decide. But I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't spend the money. I wouldn't spend the cash. It's going to be free eventually here, so don't spend the $25.
The American people are ready to receive the truth.
Humanity is not the only intelligence in the universe.
Humanity is not the only intelligent species.
We are absolutely not alone.
Non-human intelligence exists.
UAPs are real, they're here, and they're not human. I spent 25 years as a senior official with the CIA.
I worked on highly classified UAP programs.
28 years as an astrophysicist.
I served as the 4th Director of National Intelligence.
Director of Aviation Security in the National Security Council.
A one-star admiral after 32 years of service.
People that come forward with this, I feel like they've taken their life in their own hands.
The first 6 minutes of the documentary is people introducing themselves, kind of explaining who they are. The first 6 minutes. I mean, it may not sound like a lot, but it works out to what, 6% of the movie? Let me do the math. 520. Yeah, about 7%. 6 minutes of people introductions.
I was recruited to a highly sensitive government program that investigated unidentified aerial phenomenon.
For over 16 years, on behalf of the U.S. government, I worked as a senior intelligence official on the unidentified aerial phenomenon topic.
We learned that the U.S. government was involved in a long-running secret war with other nations to collect and reverse engineer vehicles not made by humans.
So one of the problems with this documentary, and the trailer sets the stage really well, having watched it now. What you see in the trailer is what you get in the entire documentary. They go into some stuff, and like I know about 0 point energy. I know about warp drives and all this other stuff that they get into, and it kind of gets ridiculous. But
I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
So look at that thing. It's rotating. There's a whole fleet of them.
The The first country that cracks the code on this technology will be the leader for years to come.
China has established its own version of a UAP task force.
You think for a second that they wouldn't consider using it to achieve their ends of domination?
This is similar to the Manhattan Project. This is the atomic weapon on steroids.
Well, again, they never explain exactly what it is through the entire movie. They talk about stuff. You're like, okay, what do you? Like, you're really talking some pretty, these are pretty big generalities. Like, are there any more specifics you can give?
This is so secret. Very, very few people in our entire government have been allowed access to it.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis, but that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees.
You better be careful about a government that doesn't trust its people, because there's no telling what they'll pull on you.
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
You could ask yourself, and I think everyone would probably agree, are there parts of the government that work autonomously? Because basically they're established in one presidency. All the people that were in that presidency leave, and now they're left to continue their work. And if it's deemed important enough by the bureaucracy, they actually get funding. And I 100%, this is not hard to believe. They get funding and money is pulled from different areas to fund these internal pockets of government that even the president is on a need-to-know basis. That's messed up.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for species.
It has so many beneficial impacts, including clean
aliens, Zelda
energy.
Man, aliens.
We should have disclosure today. We should have disclosure tomorrow. The time has come.
Age of disclosure, my friends.
What else?
This
you
guy's
wanna
in
know?
it a lot. He's a good guy. Coming soon. Well, it's come. It's come. So that is on Amazon Prime if you want to watch it. So one thing. I wonder if I can just pull it up right now. One thing that I will show. So I have two charts. I have this chart that I showed yesterday. So if you take a look at this chart, it's a dot plot of the number of aliens, sightings, anything dealing with UFOs, whatnot, UAPs over time. And if you take a look, what happened in the 1947 was Roswell 47, right? That's where, that's the explosion, right? Trump is definitely an alien. Well, Ralph, what do you, alien, Chinese alien. Hey, look, politicians are freaking aliens, okay? You think Biden wasn't a freaking alien? Where did Biden come from? They're all, I don't. It's funny, I don't want to get political, although politics isn't everywhere. I just, at the end of the day, I'm kind of an happy guy. I don't mind doing some verbal sparring. Anyway, so take a look. If you take a look at that chart, that's basically when all of what happened in the 90s, right? We went over this yesterday. What happened in the 1990s? What happened in the 1990s? The internet exploded, and that sharing of information, the sharing of images, the sharing of video, the sharing of this, it creates and manifests itself into what is basically a massive explosion because of the internet. And if it wasn't for Roswell, everything going back before Roswell, there were basically very few sightings, right? So there's another chart that I have. It's very similar, just sort of in a different way of Oh man, I'm getting good at this. Oh, okay, my head's in the way. So there you see. Now the time frames are basically the same. You look at the 1990s. That's when it exploded there at the like 5/8 of the way down, and you see the big explosion. And you see basically the same chart, just in a line graph. That is all the UFO sightings right there. That's what is So when we take a look at that, and you see there's the alien movies that came out in the 90s were huge. Like there were so many alien movies, from Matrix, Independence Day, The X-Files, to Men in Black, to everything like that. So there's a lot of reasons why the culture and everything really started to spit out a lot of belief that aliens exist. And that tends to go up and down, but it's definitely on an upward trajectory. So the age of disclosure. What were my main takeaways from the age of disclosure? Basically, what I found very interesting right from the start is that all of them use the word universe. We are the only ones, everybody. No one said galaxy. We're the only ones intelligent life in our galaxy. All of them said universe. All of them. No one used the word galaxy. Obviously, there's 2 trillion galaxies or 2 trillion galaxies in our known universe. So to make the statement that there's intelligent life across 2 trillion galaxies, call it 400 billion stars in each galaxy, like call it 7 planets around each star, do the math. The question is, are we the only intelligent life in our galaxy? That's the question. Not one. I found it weird that not one of them in this documentary used the word galaxy. It almost felt scripted because but no one's, even just by accident, like I interchange galaxy and universe, and I tend to go back to galaxy because there's no point talking about life in a galaxy that's a million light years away, unless we get Stargate technology, where we get the and we're able to start travel using Stargates to different galaxies. Discussing life outside of our own galaxy is, just say statistically, yes. But if life in another galaxy is 50 million light years away, 50 million light at the speed of light, it will take 50 million years. Now, if you can go the speed of light, if you have no mass, right? We have mass, so we cannot go the speed of light. Nothing with mass can go the speed of light. But if we had no mass and we can go the speed of light, time stands still. We will get there instantaneously. For light, time is instantaneous. Time does not pass for light at the speed of light, which is basically warp 10. At warp 10 in Star Trek, you are everywhere all at once, which is an incredibly interesting philosophical thing to kind of explore, being everywhere at the same time at once. That becomes instantaneous travel. If you could travel infinity instantaneously, then theoretically you could be everywhere at once. Conceptually, it's pretty crazy. They even brought up, I found this interesting. Some of them brought up that the internal people of the Pentagon, when they were extremely religious, they brought this up. And that the very religious people, high up people in the Pentagon, when people asked questions about aliens and whatnot, that they basically said, you're doing the devil's work, stop asking the questions. And it was like a three-minute segment, and you're kind of like, well, that's kind of weird, isn't it? Didn't make total sense, but so that was sort of inserted in there early on. Basically, the whole movie was talking about the same thing repeatedly. They did get into sort of the observable things that deal with some of the aliens. Hyperspeed velocity. So they talked about, and so all of this stuff breaks the laws of physics, which again makes it impossible. The hyperspeed velocity at spacecraft, they're discussing spacecraft going 40, 50, 60,000 miles per hour. If you have a spacecraft going through our atmosphere at that speed, it will turn into a fireball. There's no way you're going to prevent that. You cannot break those. Later on in the documentary, they talked about, well, they're building, they're using warp drives within our atmosphere. That was one of the explanations, because they were going so fast. We see here, okay, you are using warp, you're bending warp time and space within our atmosphere, creating a space-time wave, and you're riding it within our atmosphere. This is a smart, you know how much energy it takes to create a warp bubble? You really, and literally, that was one of the explanations. I said, you're as dumb as the day is long if you honestly think the amount of energy, and you cannot just go out and say, well, they have technology so they can do it at a fraction of the cost. You can't do that. Just like you can't say, some of the crazy stuff that Iron Man does, which is absolutely impossible. And you just say, well, Tony Stark will figure it out. What? No. But hey, those are comic books and movies, right? So you could say, okay, yeah, sure. But if you want to convince anyone that spaceships are flying around in our atmosphere and they're going 0 to 50,000 miles per hour, they talked about instant velocity. Right angle turns at 50,000 miles per hour. Do you know what happens to biology, organics within a craft that decides to turn on a dime at 50,000 miles per hour? It's porridge. It's called porridge. Porridge inside the spacecraft. But apparently, again, what's the explanation? Oh, they have technology. They have technology. I mean, you're using the same blind faith techniques that religion uses. Just explain it away. It's technology. It's God. It's God. It's technology. It's God. That's what it is. It's stupid. And that's what you base, if you believe in aliens visiting us, that's what you base your belief on? Oh, they just have high tech. Well, if they have such high tech, why are their fucking spaceships crashing? I mean, what, their spaceships crash? They don't even send out recovery teams? The Green Berets frickin' do that. Helicopter crashes. Have you seen Black Hawk Down? Black Down was, what the hell's going on? Do I need a drink of wine? Oh, I couldn't get that out. Excuse me. Black Hawk Down. Troops go down. They send in teams to get the peeps out. Aliens don't, but they got such incredible kick-ass technology. They can make warp bubbles within our atmosphere. But they crash. Their ships crash. And they don't send out their technology will be so advanced they could send out teams, rescue teams. I would imagine they could one of them even said they could maybe even stop time. What the fuck am I hearing? Manipulate time. I don't think it was stop time. Manipulate time. That they may have oh my God. That was later on in the documentary. Later, much later on, like 3/5, 4/5, 80% of the way through, they were talking about 0 to thousands of miles per hour in a second. No sonic boom. Well, where's the sonic boom? Again, you're breaking the laws of physics. How are you doing that? This is not an Iron Man movie where Tony Stark just figures it out. Or the Fantastic Four, where Reed Richards just knows everything because he does does the back of the napkin calculation. Well, it's probably going to take Silver Surfer about a month to get out of that one. Really? How the fuck do you know? Do you have experimental evidence on how long it takes to dig yourself out of a black hole? It's one of the stupidest movies this year. But anyway, 0 to thousands of miles per hour. Again, this is right in the age of disclosure, right in there. Another thing, low observability, which means what they're suggesting is no signatures. There's no energy signatures. They're using anti-gravity. There's no gravity signatures. There's no sonic boom signatures. So the laws of thermodynamics expressly forbid, if you create energy, you will create a like amount of heat. Energy is heat. That's all it basically is. And you create it, you need to diffuse that heat. You cannot just stuff it in a bag and I'll take care of this later. It's not like taxes. I'll do my taxes next year or 2 years from now. You can't do that with heat dissipation. I mean, that's... So they're breaking the laws of gravity. They're breaking the laws of thermodynamics. They're breaking the laws of everything. I mean, so by the use of words, what they do in the age of disclosure, they basically explain away everything. Oh no, you can't see it. It's kind of like you're watching Spinal Tap. Oh no, well, this goes to 11. Oh, don't touch it. Don't touch it. No. So basically, everything that we could detect them on, and all of the radars that we have, the private, military, government-owned radars all over the globe, the thousands of them. Well, we just decided not to point them at the UFOs. The government is just, I don't know why they don't point them, because they're too busy. I think it's like, what? Like, explaining things away pretty easily. Tony Stark will figure it out. Don't worry. He's got the Speed Force. Got the Speed Force. No. I want the laughs. Yeah. See, I can actually see close really well, but it's actually a little bit farther that I can't see that well. So when I have to read close, I have to look like the old guy or something. So there's another thing. This is insane, and this also breaks multiple laws of physics. Transmedium travel, going from space to our atmosphere to water, and back out of water. There's nothing, every asteroid that comes into our atmosphere comes and it turns into a fireball. And then apparently these same craft go through our atmosphere at the same speed. Do you guys remember, did you guys watch Seinfeld and see the magic loogie thing they did like JFK with Keith Hernandez? And Jerry Seinfeld does the explanation. He goes through and, I'm hit. Fuck, that's one of the best Seinfelds ever. This is Age of Disclosure kind of feels like that in places. I'm sorry, man. They said the same stuff over and over. If you're a believer, I'm sure you'll get more excited, but there's nothing new. Anti-gravity. Oh yeah, so they're going from air into the water at hundreds of miles per hour into the water. Could you imagine the physics associated with a craft going from space to our atmosphere into water and not slowing down? Ooh, I mean that. If Einstein were alive, he'd be like, "Oh, what are you trying to say? What do you say? It's impossible." Was that German? That wasn't German. I'm half German too. I can't even speak. Anti-gravity. They were big on anti-gravity. That somehow that if you can conquer gravity, you conquer black holes. With all of the satellites, everything that we point our telescopes at, we see nothing. Right? We see nothing. We see no one out there throwing a saddle on a black hole and saying giddy up and riding a black hole into the sunset. So that was their fifth thing, observable thing with these anti-gravity. They were talking about spaceships that could hover at 80,000 feet, then we just drop down to 30,000 feet, hover, then they would go back up to 80,000 feet. I mean, sounds like a weather balloon, doesn't it? What the fuck are you talking about? So tomorrow on the show, I have a whole video debunking these things, and it's absolutely hilarious when you find out what this stuff really is. You're like, oh geez, do I feel stupid? Yeah, I do. If you believed it. I mean, of course I don't. I'm not a believer. I'm not a Hale Bop guy. I'm not going to drink the purple liquid. I'm not going to Jonestown, okay? I'm not going to Jonestown. Thank you. Or am I? Who wants to go to Jonestown with me? I don't know. Biological effects. And what that means is people that got too close to these things got strange burns, internal scars when they got too close to a UAP. Now, this is what the documentary said, Age of Disclosure. They provided no evidence whatsoever, no medical records, no anything. They just state it, right? And that's what the whole documentary basically is. They state it. They just say it. It's not, it doesn't, oh, I saw a paper somewhere and, some classified thing that I'm not supposed to talk about, but here it is. They created a UAP task force to detect and catalog UAPs. That was in August 2020. I mean, do you guys believe this stuff? How many of you guys, how many people do you buy into this stuff? Like, how many alien people are there out there? I mean, I would like to know, what percent of the population actually believes that we're being visited by aliens? I don't know. I don't know if there's accurate data for that. Some of the things that they went into next, now this is kind of getting into like a halfway, 2/3 into the documentary. They start talking about time travel, that these civilizations have. When you start getting into time travel, you're starting to get into some real relativistic concepts of travel, the universe, light, speed. Basically, entropy forbids anything and anyone from traveling back in time. The laws of nature, the laws of the universe, forbid immortality. It's just a matter of fact. There's only one of two ways you can go back in time, because what you have to do, time would have to be recorded somewhere. There would be an absolute record, right? So you just hit a cassette tape, you rewind, and you go back. Because what you need to produce to go back in time, the relationship of every single quark, every single neutrino, every single atom, electron, proton, every single bit, molecule in the entire universe would have to go back to its relative relationship, if you're going back 100 years, that it was at that point in time. Any deviation whatsoever of one quark, one neutrino, or anything would create massive paradoxes. So you would need to have an absolute exact recording of time. Now, if you subscribe to the box universe theory, where you can go anywhere back and forth in time, if time were the fourth dimension, and we could look at time just as we look at 3D space in its entirety, so we would see a human being as a baby and an old person at the same time. How does that even work? How do you perceive that? How do you see someone as a baby and an old person at the same time? Not even Benjamin Button answered that question. But time is going back in time. I think most physicists, theoretical particle astrophysicists will agree that entropy ensures that we cannot go back in time. It's an impossibility. The laws of nature forbid it. It would create so many problems within space-time and everything that physics and nature has a way of protecting itself. So they did get into time travel, and you're like, oh geez, okay, I thought we were just talking about alien. Now they're like, if they've got this kind of power, if they have the power of time travel, they got the power. They talk about, they got warp power. They can tap 0-point energy. If you know anything about 0-point energy, there is more energy within a cubic meter of space than there is in the entire sun. It's true. But it is untappable. It is absolutely breaks the laws of physics for us to tap into 0-point energy. Batteries work because there is an energy discrepancy between the positive and the negative poles, so energy can flow. 0-point energy, the energy within space-time, is absolutely at perfect equilibrium. It is untouchable. Again, you would have to break the laws of physics to be able to tap 0-point energy. People love, that is a great science fiction thing. It's a great thing for like Marvel. It's a great thing for science fiction movies. I mean, that could be something that, like, if there was an Event Horizon Part 2, I'm a screenwriter, right? So I've written many screenplays. I've had my share of awards and film festivals around the world. I love writing. And I've been a science fiction nerd since I was 4. when I write science fiction, I like writing shit that makes sense. Like Christopher Nolan, James Cameron, right? These guys are science really fucking close. The most stupidest science movie I've seen is Fantastic Four, which takes science and turns it into fucking Lego build, like child. Oh my God. You guys see Fantastic Four and see what they did to science? They're literally, they're driving, gas cars in the 1950s, but somehow they launch a ship in the middle of New York, and then they dock it into some FTL drive that opens a wormhole that takes a pregnant Sue Storm to go fight Galactus. What the fuck am I watching? Your best idea was to take your wife and to go attack Galactus, who is probably tougher than Thanos? And as far as the writers go, what the fuck are you thinking? The Thing didn't do anything. All he was a freaking pilot and a cook. Did you notice that? The Thing was a pilot and a cook. They didn't pull up the in Age of Disclosure in the dog. They didn't pull up Fantastic Four. I thought they were when they were talking about ancient civilizations, but they didn't do it. But they did get into time travel. They were talking about that maybe there's ancient civilizations. It's funny. It's funny. There's ancient civilizations hidden still within our world that are underwater. They were trying to say, well, you know what? We've only mapped 20% of the ocean floor. I mean, which is true. We've only mapped a very small fraction of the ocean floor. I don't think there's cities and things hanging out at the bottom of the ocean. There'd be energy signatures. There'd be energy signatures, and the Titan submersible kind of proved that you don't want to go down too far without having the right tools, the right units, the right stuff. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. I got wine. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have a safe Thanksgiving. I hope you have turkey. Come watch tomorrow because I'll be live for 4 hours. I got nothing else to do. That's fine. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Going live, it's fun. It can be stressful sometimes. I don't know. Underwater. At hundreds of miles per hour, they were talking about. Underwater. Hundreds of miles per hour underwater. You know how much energy that would take? If you take... Could you imagine the wake that any object moving through the water would create? I love wakeboarding, right? I'm a wakeboarder. If I can't wakeboard, I'll wake surf. That's my bag, man. That's my bag. I own what do I own? 9 wakeboards, 2 surfboards. I used to have an X-Star. But I'll tell you, if you want to spend a lot of money, go wakeboarding for one day. You'll spend $400 or $500 in boat gas. That's how much it takes to push a boat through water for 4 or 5 hours. Now, if you're gonna push a spacecraft through water, underwater, at hundreds of miles per hour, I don't even know how many laws of physics you're breaking. I got to call James Cameron on that one. It's like, James, Danny calling. Who? Danny Alex. Who? Fuck, never mind. I got a question. Or maybe I call Avi Loeb. Hey, I call Avi. Hey, Avi, I got an alien question. Fuck, Avi. Avi Loeb's a fuck nut. He's an idiot. I'm going to go into Avi Loeb tomorrow. Yeah. So part of the stuff that doesn't make sense, right? And I put a few notes here. They were talking about, but something that they're also talking about it didn't make sense. So part of their explanation was these crashes, right? So when the aliens crash and they leave the tech, right? They leave the freaking alien tech right there. One guy said, the astrophysicist of the group, oh man, that's a stretch, that it's kind of like an IQ test. Here's some of our technology. We're going to leave the technology with you, and it's going to be a little bit of an IQ test to see what you motherfuckers can do with it, right? It's like the engineers from Prometheus, right? They come, these big 10-foot tall, muscular, they can, rip our heads off with one twist. I mean, I actually didn't mind Prometheus that much. Was it flawed? Yeah. The concept of the engineers could have been just, and all we get is in the next one is they just go and they drop all the black goo on the engineer, and that's it. That. Did you not understand that people were actually interested in these engineers? That was the fascination of it. But anyway, but that's what they're saying, is that part of the aliens, part of their plan is to crash stuff. And apparently it's only Russia, China, and the USA. Apparently Mozambique doesn't get any crashes. Somalia doesn't get any. Lebanon, no crash for you. No crash for you. You get no alien shit. Australians, no, come on, you Aussies. You know, you Aussies get no alien crashes. Goes double for the New Zealand peeps, right? Yeah, the Canadians. Oh, Canadian, like Elon Musk's mother was Canadian. She's from Saskatchewan, I think, right? Elon Musk's mother? Okay, I gotcha. So, but it came from South Africa, right? Elon Musk's mother. But only three nations are being tested: United States, China, and Russia. That's what they've chosen, and they're doing IQ tests by crashing. That's what one or two guys said. Crashes were left by the aliens as gifts. Gifts. They called them gifts. The alien tech. They have technology so far advanced. They have anti-gravity. They can create warp bubbles within our atmosphere. They can go from 0 to 50,000 miles per hour. They can turn on a dime, change direction, and go that way. And but when one of their crafts crash, I mean, could you imagine crashing at 50,000 miles per hour? Is anything left? So here's if the UFO crashed, that means there has been a massive issue with their technology. It hits a mountain, and if they're using that kind of energy, that energy would explode like a nuclear bomb. But all of their energy in their spaceship is contained. It crashes, and there's no energy discharge. Nothing. They're going 50,000 miles per hour. They hit water in a crash. But we don't see this craft hitting the water at 50,000 miles per hour or hitting the side of a mountain. We don't hear anything, see anything. It just crashes, and there's no energy signature. It just crashes quietly. Just poof. This shit doesn't make sense, people. But they're left as gifts. A guy said that the aliens are leaving their crash sites as gifts. But yet we don't see here or 50. When I was making my avatar, get this. This is amazing. So when I was making my avatar video that I just released on going from Earth to Pandora, it takes about 4.5, almost 5 years to get there at 70% the speed of light. If a 1 milligram size of dust hits the spacecraft at 70% the speed of light, it's equivalent to 8.6 tons of TNT. 8.6 tons of TNT. That's a milligram-sized particle of dust hitting at 70% the speed of light. And the math is not actually that complicated to compute. But that is crazy. So you're telling me that these alien spaceships crash onto the ground at massive speeds. They have to have energy within their spacecraft because they're building warp bubbles. They have anti-gravity. I wouldn't even want to. They obviously have antimatter engines, antimatter, and it hits the ground, and there's no explosion, there's no nothing. But they still crash. And as they say in the documentary, they're gifts. They're gifts. It's an IQ test. I kid you not. That's what they said in the documentary. I kid you not. Don't spend $25 to watch it. Wait till it's free, guys. I'm telling you, wait till it's free. One of them said in one of these Tic Tac, they call it Tic Tac UFOs. They found 4 aliens. In 1964, a Tic Tac ship landed and one alien came out and talked to a general and walked back in. What the fuck? Is this Mars Attacks? I don't get it. I don't get it. This is what they're talking. This is what they're saying. 1964, single person. Oh, it's a single person account too. It's a single person account. 1964 on the tarmac of a U.S. military base. It's a single person account. I wrote that down. One person said this. Oh, okay. Well, that's that's all I need to believe in something is I'll believe anything anyone says. That's my level of, that's my level. Oh man. Oh geez, we can't do that. Oh, sorry guys. There we go. The Vatican. So what they said, the Vatican has irrefutable evidence that aliens exist. The Vatican, where the Pope lives, right there. That little place in Italy. The Vatican has irrefutable evidence that aliens exist. How do they know that? Everybody, and at this, and then the other thing that's really strange, everybody within this really deep UAP structure of people within the U.S. military, they all had to sign non-disclosure agreements. I mean, really, this is the part of the U.S. military where people go missing. I would a non-disclosure agreement. All you just say is sit down. You don't talk to anyone about this. Or you kind of go missing, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, right? I mean, non-disclosure. If you tell anybody, we'll take care of you. I'm sure that's probably more the way it happens. Sign this non-disclosure agreement, and if you tell anyone, we'll sue you. No, I don't think that's the way it works. Just ask Charlie Kirk. Oh, did I say that? Oh, fuck. There's more shit going on with Charlie Kirk. I mean, don't believe this shit on the surface. There's no way. No way. They were talking, and they actually showed warp bubbles within our atmosphere. So the warp bubbles were traveling within our atmosphere, suggesting that that's what they're doing. So they come all this way to expend this massive amount of energy to create a warp bubble within our atmosphere. Do you know how much energy? It's been suggested that at minimum to create a warp bubble, and that's not even to maintain one, would require the mass of Jupiter converted into antimatter to begin a warp bubble, not to just maintain it, but they're talking that these aliens are now doing like little warp bubbles. They actually show it in the documentary of an alien craft moving. Well, we haven't seen the dilation or the bending of space-time within our atmosphere. We haven't seen anything like that. But they just reached, they were like 0 point energy. They jumped into that. Well, they're probably using 0 point. It breaks the laws of physics. Tapping into 0 point energy. They were talking about space-time, the manipulation of space-time within our. Are they really that interested in us that they will blow this much of energy? And if they have if they have this kind of technology, how do their spaceships even flip and crash? And when they crash, why do they look like weather balloons? I mean, guys. This stuff is ridiculous. They're talking quantum entanglement. They're traveling with 0 point energy and quantum entanglement. Okay, what? I got something written down here. It's silver balls. Why do I have silver balls written down? They were talking about how close we are to developing warp drives. Like, come on, give me a fucking break. Seriously? I always make the joke where like Alcubierre takes his Alcubierre warp drive. He's got all the math done. Here's how the math works, and he throws it at Elon Musk. And Elon Musk says, "Well, what do you want me to do with this? How do you want me to? You want me to build something with this?" The engineering is, who cares if the math works? It doesn't make any. Hey, black holes work? Doesn't mean we can build a black hole. How much energy would it take for us to make a black hole? or a white hole, because white holes theoretically exist as well. And not only warp drive, they also suggested that there are parts of the U.S. government that might even be close to tapping 0-point energy, which is BS. It's absolute BS. There's no way. There's no way that could happen. So at the end of the day, that was basically, and they went on. So basically, the age of disclosure goes through and it kind of repeats the same stuff that you've heard on so many other of these documentaries. There's nothing new. As a matter of fact, the only thing that is new is they go deeper into rabbit holes that are absolutely ridiculous, going from space into our atmosphere, into the water without slowing down. Are you kidding me? I mean, going from our air into the water alone would be an absolute holy. Imagine the wake. I would like to wakeboard behind that motherfucker. That's what I would like to do. Imagine the wake of a. I don't think these people. I mean, it would be really cool. Like, I would love to think that there are aliens. I would love to think that there are aliens. I am not Jewish. Am I Jewish? Do I look Jewish? There's something about me that looks Jewish? I'm agnostic. I'm in a godless universe, man. But thanks, 530 Unabomber? Is that the name you picked? Oh, man. 8 Kings of Songs. Hi. Trump is definitely alien. Yes, he is. Yes. Austin the Pro 94 says, every world has its end. I know that's kind of sad, but that's why we got to live life to the fullest in the time we have. At least that's what I figure. Quoted by Sonic the Hedgehog. That is freaking brilliant. That is brilliant. Sonic is brilliant. That is actually a great statement. So that is the age of disclosure. I don't pay for it. Like, honestly, you'll be disappointed if you pay. The only reason I paid for it was to do the show tonight. But everything that I heard, when they're starting to pull up 0-point energy, when they're starting to pull up warp bubbles within our atmosphere, and again, some of the most easiest things that you can point to is if these alien spacecraft are crashing and they're using energy to the point of having to create warp bubbles. They're creating artificial gravity and they're crashing into mountainsides. Could you imagine the nuclear explosion, antimatter matter explosion that would happen because of the energy that they are consuming to create these? If they're tapping 0-point energy, which we are pretty sure is impossible, it's breaks the laws of physics, but they can do it. The energy that they use to tap it would be ridiculous. None of it makes sense. It's almost like the excuse they use for everything is, well, they have Iron Man somewhere and Tony Stark will figure it out, right? It's the same. It's a sad way. I would love to think that there's aliens. I think there are. Like, I think there is other alien life. But the other, like I said, the other main thing, they never use the word galaxy. They always use the word universe. And if you speak to anyone like Brian Cox, will never use, if he's asked, is there life in our universe? He goes, I'm sure there is, but he never talks universe. He talks galaxy. Going millions of light years to another galaxy. Even Andromeda galaxy is 4 million light years away. Even though it's going to crash into us one day, it's going to be Milkomeda. It's like, these are distances that are absolutely ridiculous to even. So we have to, but they all said universe. Like good political, how politicians come out and they have the talking points and every politician says the same thing that day, exactly the same thing. It's like, wow, that's a coincidence. Is it a coincidence that they all use the word universe and they don't use the word gravity or galaxy? I really found that strange. Being a part-time at-home hobby astrophysicist, I found that ridiculous. It was, and that was right off the start of the movie. But again, they were adamant that these things go from 0 to 50,000 miles per hour in a second. Could you imagine how much heat energy that would create of a ship going through our atmosphere at that speed? I mean, just ask the Flash, but he does have the Speed Force, right? That's so he does have the Speed Force. But anyway, guys, that is my take on the age of disclosure. I don't, you know, there's, is there anyone in chat that believes in aliens? Like I say, I don't. I'm not a believer. And again, even you can pull up the, where are we here? This is a map where all of the alien sightings began. It all starts at Roswell. Everything, it starts at Roswell. Before Roswell, there was almost zero. You go into the 1800s, 1700s, no one's talking about being abducted by aliens, right? I mean, because it's not even in the mind, so people can't make it up. They can't dream it, they can't come out and, but look at the 1990s. What happened in the 1990s? What happened? The internet. Yes. The internet happened. And of course, all the internet, just like the printing press, right? Just like the printing press, which was considered the greatest human achievement, technology that changed the world. The internet did the same thing. We had movies like The Matrix, Men in Black. We had Event Horizon. We had Independence Day. We had X-Files, on and on and on. And then people are sharing stuff. They're talking about alien. And another thing, and I think this is probably the most, and I'm going to end at this with the aliens. There is an entire industry reliant, billions of dollars at this point, that is reliant on people believing in the alien bullshit. The only people that have anything to lose are the people propagating the lie, because they're making millions and billions of dollars. It's a cottage industry. They're the ones making the money. Who's got anything to lose? The government wants, or the military, the Pentagon wants people to believe that aliens exist. They can always blame the aliens, and they can go and do their high-end tech experiments and just blame aliens. The people that got the most to lose are the people that are propagating. If you go to YouTube and you search some of the absolute dog shit clickbait BS, these are the people that stand to lose on a population that does not believe in aliens. So the lie must continue. And I think the government, the more crises there are, the more control the government exerts. So the idea that the government, the government wants us to believe in aliens, or not believe in aliens, that there might be aliens, right? Goes right back to COVID. The idea of COVID. Scare the people, lock them in their rooms, in their homes. We take full control. And it's through crisis, the perpetuation of crisis, that government takes more and more control of our freedoms and our liberties and just being an open society. It is not good. You know, almost 50 million turkeys tomorrow. 50 million turkeys. America is going to consume 50 million. Like, if you put 50 million turkeys, I like turtles. Super Slav. Hey, I'm Slavic. I like turtles. I like turtle. You like turtles? I like turtles. You spelled turtles wrong. You spelled like wrong. Doesn't matter. It must be an alien. You're an alien. I just get 50 million turkeys tomorrow, guys. That is tomorrow. I'm going to be on for 4 hours. I have some video debunking all this stuff, all this alien stuff tomorrow. We're going to be doing some 3i Atlas, Avi Loeb stuff. We're going to be doing some Thanksgiving stuff. We're going to be doing probably some Christmas stuff, probably a little bit of movies. We're going to be talking some movies. I'm a screenwriter. It is something that I truly enjoy, screenwriting. And so that is that. So like I say, my final verdict on Age of Disclosure: don't buy it. Wait till it's free. And when it's free, you can go and watch it, because it's the same. It is literally the trailer over 111 minutes. It's just people talking. They go into ridiculous. They go into ridiculous stuff. I mean, that's all I can say. Like it doesn't even make They say stuff that doesn't make scientific sense because they preface it with the idea that, their technology is so, it's beyond it. They can break the laws of physics. And all right, okay, all right, that's cool. That's a full applause for the aliens. Gotta get a full applause for the aliens. Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, have a happy Thanksgiving. I know there's millions of people traveling this evening, so safe travels for everybody. Love, joy, happiness. Watch plane, trains, and automobiles, please. And I will see you tomorrow on A Godless Universe.
Okay, children, let's take our seats.
Yeah, baby. We'll do it live. Fuck it.